Hello, everyone. I want to talk to you a little bit about master pages and styles in InDesign. Right, what we have in front of you right now is my current resume, and I wanted to show you how to create pages so that when you scroll through your pages, you have the exact same layout. So if on your resume, if you want to go into Illustrator and create your own logo icon, or you can do something simple like mine is, that it's just simply a letter form, you can do that as well. You can create images if you're into certain interior design, something that accentuates that, or certain color schemes and things of that nature. You want this identity part here with all your information to be the same on each page of your resume. So that way, no matter what page they're on, they're flipping through, they can look up and they know exactly who they're reading about. You don't want them to confuse you with someone else. So anyway, let's go into this. I'm going to start a new document. You can see how this comes up. So I don't know if you have noticed that there is this little box called Facing Pages. I want to show you what that means and when you might actually want to use that. So I'm going to do Master Page Demo. And in case you're wondering, I put hyphens between the words instead of spaces, because sometimes spaces or dots and things like that can actually interfere with the file name or cause it to corrupt the file so that it is unusable. So I always recommend to put hyphens in between the words on your file name so it's easy to read. I've got this set to 2 pages, 8.5 by 11. We're going to create. Okay, so as you see on my resume, my pages are all in a line here. And on the master, where I left Facing Pages, it creates them like this. The reason for that is that, so if you're creating, say, a book design or things of that nature that have pages that do face one another, and I'll add a few more pages here so you can see exactly what that looks like. And you see how it creates, it looks like a book. So I'm going to Command Z to undo that. Now I want to create this file because it's a resume. Things that are small like that are either just one page or they're a front and back or just a simple brochure, things like that. I do not normally do facing pages. So what I want to do is go to File, Document Setup, and unclick Facing Pages and say OK. And now up here you see this thing called a master. And right now the master still has 2 pages. So I want to change that master to match. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key and select both pages. And I'm going to go to Master Options for a master. And you can change the name of your masters. The reason being is that these are like templates. And if you have a document that has multiple templates, multiple designs, so if you have, for example, the cookbook that I'm building right now has front matter pages, it has recipe pages, and it has back matter pages. Some pages have page numbers, some pages have a logo running along the bottom of them, and some have just a certain type of background. And I can create a separate master for each one of those. And when you apply that master, which I'll show you in just a moment, it will create that information on every page that's like that. And then if you go in and you need to edit, you only edit it in the master, and it will edit through the entire document. So I want this master to have one page just so it matches my pages down below. I'll click OK. So now so over here, you can see where here's my master, and this is the information I put there. So that every page that the master A is applied to, it's going to have this on there, and it's going to be in the same location. So if I select all this, and I do Edit, Copy, and go over here to my master up here, and go to Edit, Paste in Place, that will put it in the exact same spot as I had it on the other one. So now where you see these little A's, you can go through here and scroll through, and you can see how it looks exactly like the other one, and they don't change. All right, so that's it for the master pages. Just basically any information that you want to have in there that you want to use throughout the document, and you want it to be cohesive and be in the same place and the same size and the same information. If you put it in the master page, just make sure that when you're done putting stuff in the master page, you click back down here. Otherwise, all your information you're putting is going to wind up here, and you don't want that to happen because that can cause a big mess down the road. So that is just basically your template for the layout of your page. Now for styles, let's bring some of this information over. So you can I'm just going to copy and paste this in place over here. I'm not really sure why this little bar has got all these little marks. We're just going to ignore that right now. Something strange happening there. So as you can see, I've got headers. Sorry, it's lagging a little bit. And then I have my body text. So my headers are in Avenir Medium 12 on 12, which 12 is letting the space in between lines. The bottom 12. The top one is your type size. And then my body text is Avenir Light, so that shows that differentiation. So when you're looking for a font family to do your resume in or any type of document, you want to find something that goes together. And there are some families that have what is called a slab or a serif that goes along with a sans. They have both, and they are meant to go together, so you can use a slab or a serif. So I think, let's see, Artegra is one that I use. So I can see I've got the sans here, and then if you go further down, you can see the slab. And you can use, and these were made by the same designer, and they're made to go together. So I could do something like that, and it would still work. But for today, I just want to show you about style. So once you decide, okay, I want this Avenir Medium 12 on 12 to be my header, you can go over to what is called paragraph styles or your character styles. Paragraph includes spacing after, so that is what the body text spacers, that is where I added the spacing. And then here you can see my headers are in blue. If I double click that, I usually do based on none, so it doesn't borrow. If you have based on another font, it can sometimes put changes in there that you don't want formats in there. So you can see where it's Avenir Next Condensed Medium 12 on 12. And I can set the character color, and that's just from my website. So that's the way I've pulled that in. You can actually create your own color swatch from your icons. If you create a logo in Illustrator, you can check the CMYK build from there and add a swatch in here just like you did in Illustrator, and just say okay. So every time I have that highlighted, you can see how it is automatically where I've applied it. If you just double click the word and hit that style, it will apply it to it. The nice thing about that is that if you decide, I don't really like that, I want to change it, you can go here and you can change it within this part, and it will change it throughout your entire document. So this is why styles are so important, especially if you're working on something really big, so like either a mini book or even a brochure that you want all the type to be uniform throughout. You want your body text to be the same throughout, and your headers and subheads or bullet. You can do bullets and things of that nature here as well. If you go under paragraph styles, you can create bullets and numbering options, and you can fix the spacing before and after. That's just something that takes a little practice. You won't need to do this for a project. I just want you to be aware that it's there. And it's in spacing. As you can see, I've got a space after here. So in my body text, every time I hit enter, it added that much space in between. So it gives that little allowance in between each one. So how you get the spaces here, especially right down in here, you can see it through there. I will go ahead and create a PDF of my resume, which I already have one. I will upload it to Brightspace for review so that you have it. But if you haven't already, go ahead and start pulling together your information for your resume. And you're looking at work experience, references. There are minimum guidelines on the project handout sheet. On the Photoshop project, some people miss some of the requirements. So please check your sheet and make sure, and if you're confused at all about what the requirements are, please email me, or we can set up a Zoom one-on-one. I've done several of those with your classmates, and we'll be happy to do one with you. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please let me know, and enjoy InDesign.